Hey guys, and welcome back to the Three in the Key podcast. I'm your host today. My name's Arnav, and I'm joined here with Ben and Andrew. Say what's up, guys.
What's up?
How's it going, everyone?
All right, so for today's episode, we're going to be doing our 2020 NBA mock draft, and we're going to be starting with, we now have the order for the first 14 picks in the lottery. And we're going to do the 15th pick anyways, just so that each of us have a fair amount of picks.
And also, we should probably address the elephant in the room that Nav wasn't on the last two episodes, but we're just not going to mention that, okay? Like, it happened. It is what it is.
Yeah,
okay, well, it is what it is at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, so
all right.
Water under the bridge. But anyway, yeah, we're doing our 15 picks, and basically the way it was going to work is we might do a couple more mock drafts depending on what style we want to do it, but I'm thinking, so basically what we've decided to do is we randomly generated the order of the picks, and basically we all got picks that are similar in value. So like I had initially the number 1 pick, but then I didn't pick until 6. Then I wouldn't pick until the late lottery again, like to balance everything out, right? So we have fairly balanced picks, and we all have 5, and they're pretty much random. So Nav's gonna pick first, then it'll be Ben, and then it'll be me, and then we'll just keep going.
Yeah.
Okay? So we're not doing
I have
like
4 and 5, so.
right. So we're not doing our individual like top 14, like our big boards, because I mean obviously in the draft lots of things go wrong and lots of things don't happen as they are expected, right? That's something that's to be anticipated in the draft. But also, like, that would be too long and repetitive anyway, and we've done something like that before. We do that every week. So I think this will be better.
Yeah.
But anyway, Nav, if you want to start making the
Before we start, I just have to say, so each person is going to have, about 2 to 3 minutes to just discuss it. So after we announce our pick, we're going to probably talk about it for a while, and the person who has the next pick in the draft will have time to think about it, depending on what other people did. So it's not going to be super fast. Like, you're not going to hear first and second. It's going to be first, talk about it, then second. So that's just how we're going to do it. So, yeah, Arnav has the first pick. Arnav, do you need some time to make your decision or no?
Are you already ready to go?
No, I can go.
Nav initially had the 3rd pick and the 9th pick. But since I want to make the 11th pick for San Antonio, he was like, okay, give me your number 1 pick. So I get his number 3 pick and his number 11. He gets my 9 and 1. So he might have to change some things up. But anyway.
All right. So for the first pick in the NBA draft.
Wait, hold on.
For the Minnesota
That was unexpected. We did not plan for that, but if you want to do that for every pick, I'd be totally down.
Yeah, that'd actually be amazing if you did. Anyways,
that would be great.
All right, so for the Minnesota Timberwolves, the first pick in the NBA draft, shooting guard from Georgia, Anthony Edwards.
Okay, I see it.
So,
very nice.
So Anthony Edwards is one of the most dominant players coming into the draft. Coming into the NBA now, and he's just gonna. I think he would make a really good fit with D'Lo and Karl Anthony Towns, and he's just a great 2-way. He's a 3-way. I forgot what I was gonna say, but anyways, he's a great shooter, and he's a great
scorer overall.
He's great down low. He's just a good scorer, and I think he can be an amazing player. So that's why I picked number 1.
So
and I think it's gonna be hard to miss with this guy. There's not really much that he can do horrible.
Well, I mean, shooting in college is generally based off free throws. Like Lonzo Ball was like a 40% free throw or 3-point shooter in college, but he was only like a 60-something free throw shooter, which was an indicator for how his shooting would be in the NBA. Obviously, it's gotten better, but you get it.
Yep.
So, Ben, your thoughts?
On his pick, I would agree. If I had the first pick, probably make something similar. I think he fits well with Minnesota. Yeah. So that's what I think.
Secondary scorer, maybe run a little bit of secondary playmaking next to D'Lo. So I think this is pretty much the consensus pick. I think if I were Minnesota, and a lot of you might agree with, actually, he shot well from the free throw line, to be fair. So I think Anthony Edwards should be good.
Yeah.
But if I were Minnesota, I'm honestly going to trade this pick because since they only have they have like Karl Anthony Towns and D'Lo for the next 4 or 5 years, and they only have that much time to win a
They
championship.
need to win
And
now.
if let's say Anthony Edwards isn't by his 4th year even an all-star, they don't have time to wait. They need to be contenders in the next 3 years for this D'Lo trade to be worth it. Because I believe they traded their 1st-round pick next year, which basically means they're tied up in D'Lo right now, and they have to be a good team next year. But if I were them, I would trade the pick to try and get someone such as Devin Booker to pair with his 2 best friends, which has been rumored for a long time.
That would be so
That would
sick.
be
I would watch
crazy.
every T-Wolves game of all time.
It would be crazy. And I would also, if I'm not looking to trade for a superstar, then I would trade down in the draft, maybe get Denny Avdija, and then get some good assets to make a run at Devin Booker without this pick, because they have Malik. And another problem with Edwards going there, even though I think he's the right pick, is they have 2 or 3 shooting guards on the roster already. Jarrett Culver, they drafted last year, even though he had a very bad rookie year. I'd still like to see what they have with him. Malik Beasley averaged like 20 after the trade there.
Mm-hmm.
And they have Josh Okogie, who's a solid 2-way player. So
Yeah.
it's kind of clogging up that backcourt a little, but there's no reason they can't trade some of those young assets, flip them for a better player. So I think this is the right pick if they're going to keep it and do nothing. And yeah, I agree. I think Anthony Edwards, he's got a lot of James Harden similarities. He's fairly athletic. He's a good shooter. He's very physical. He should be a good post defender. He's not a very efficient 3-point shooter, but he did take almost 8 a game, which is elite. And I expect him to be I expect him to win Rookie of the Year, mostly because I think he's the most NBA ready out of all these guys, maybe other than James Wiseman.
Yeah.
Because like he's already got the frame, he's got the size, he's got the athleticism, he's going to have the opportunity. But I don't expect him to be the best player in this draft, but I expect him to have the best start because he has all the intangibles right now. Like he doesn't have this.
All right, so let's move on.
So it's your pick now, Ben?
Yeah, so I am the 2nd pick. I am the Golden State Warriors. I thought about this pick, and I think I'm ready to make it.
All right.
So with the 2nd pick in the NBA draft, the Golden State Warriors select from the University of Memphis, James Wiseman.
Oh, shoot.
Ooh.
I didn't expect that. Oh, shoot. Okay.
I didn't expect that either.
So I looked at this draft and I said, who fits with that Golden State team? And I looked and I'm like, looked at their roster. If they get an elite center, it has to be like elite, like Joel Embiid level, but a decent center, they're gonna do some good things. So
I 100%
you look at
agree with you.
James Wiseman. His NBA comparison is Hassan Whiteside and DeAndre Jordan, who were pretty decent players in their prime. Not too great right now. I think he can be better than that. Obviously, his weakness would be playing so few games at the collegiate level that maybe he's not ready in a way that he hasn't played at that high of a level because he didn't play at college that meant for he played a couple of games. He's got a 7'6" wingspan, which is crazy.
Damn, I did not take into factor that measurement. Okay.
And I know drafting big men high can be risky because it's hard to tell, but I think he has a future in the league. I don't know if he's going to be a superstar, but I think he'll be an all-star, and I think he's going to fit. I think he would fit great with that Warriors team. So that's why I took James Wiseman.
I completely agree with you.
Andrew, what do you think?
So I think that first of all, you stole my pick at 3, so you can go to hell for that.
Uh-huh.
But other than that, I don't think it's necessarily a bad pick. I still don't think it's the right pick, and I will stand by that. even though my opinion has changed on Wiseman a little bit, and I did not know that he was so fast and he could run the floor like he can. He's not a good 3-point shooter, and he's not an elite defender, or passer, which I think this team could use. Like an Onyeka Okongwu
Oh,
would fit
sorry,
better.
I have another thing about him. I think he can also run their system because he can run the floor.
That's a fair point.
Exactly.
Very fast, but
Yeah.
the thing is, they had when they had traditional big men that couldn't shoot before. They didn't use that floor running system. They've never run through a big man as a scorer before, and when they had
But
guys
elite teams
it,
like that will adjust to new systems with new players.
well, I mean, it's basically this Warriors team is more of the same, right? They have their 3 best players still, and their coaches.
Well, they lost.
What? Hold up. You think Draymond is better than KD?
No, KD doesn't count. This is like before the KD trade. KD is obviously the best player on that team in that era, but like before, because the KD trade just threw whatever system they're running out the window because they had so much talent, it didn't matter. But anyway, they could get close to replicating that 2016 system. And I don't think Wiseman would be more than a role player I guess. I think this is an okay pick, but I guess we'll have to see how it goes. Like I'm not confident that it was the best pick. If I were the Warriors, I would have either taken Denny or traded down. But at this point, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So now I have a lot to think about because I didn't.
I'm very excited to hear what you got to do. I like whoever you pick. It's down to 2 for me. Whoever you pick the other one. I think with the Charlotte Hornets, really whoever they get in the draft are going to be elite. So they need every position. So I'm excited to see.
They don't need a point guard and they don't need a forward because they have PJ Washington and Miles Bridges.
I mean, I would say that they need.
But what forward is available at this point? I've got one actually.
Okay, make your pick. I'm not gonna sway.
The problem with the Hornets was because I didn't initially have the 3rd pick, and I was confident that Ben would take someone else. I didn't plan a 2nd pick, but I have 2 now. I have 2, and I think I know what I'm gonna do. So with the 3rd pick, the 2020 NBA draft,
But are not playing music.
Hornets select Denny Avdija from Israel.
Denny Avdija. Bro, this is gonna change the whole draft. Bro.
This is going to, yeah. So okay. So first of all, maybe the biggest deal from this isn't even the pick, but who I picked, but rather who I didn't, because now LaMelo has fallen into the laps of the Chicago Bulls. Whether or not they're going to take him is yet to be seen. And by the way, who has the 4th pick?
Chicago. Oh, I don't know. I think I do.
Ben has it, right?
Oh, Ben has it? All right.
Ben, hold on, let me check. No,
I have it. Yeah.
Ben has it. So.
Yeah, I do have. I have all my picks on my.
If you don't take LaMelo, then LaMelo could fall to Atlanta because there's no way Cleveland's taking him. He could fall to Detroit, for God's sake, at this rate. But
Atlanta
anyway,
doesn't need them.
we're not going to get ahead of ourselves.
Detroit.
I'm taking Denny Avdija with the 3rd pick in the 2020 NBA draft. So
He could actually go to New York.
Hold on.
LaMelo could go to New York.
No, he's not going past Detroit. Detroit desperately needs a point guard.
They have Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose is 31 years old. He's not part of their long-term future. He's on a 1-year contract, and he's not young, and he's not going to get much better than this.
Yeah, then never mind.
So here's the deal. I'm taking Denny Avdija, a prospect that many of you watching might not know that much about. But he is essentially Luka Doncic light as far as this draft goes. A 6'8" combo forward with elite passing vision and a good stroke. He has elite length, good size. He can handle the ball. He can pass with elite vision like most European players can these days. He has very high potential. I was really close to picking Okongwu because this team needs a center, but I don't think Okongwu has the high offensive upside that James Wiseman has. And to me, I think Denny has more upside than both of them.
Denny makes me want to punch him in the face. His face is just so punchable.
What?
It makes me angry. Denny Avdija's face is so... I hate
I
it.
think he's gonna be a good player, and I think that was a
It
good.
makes me angry, bro. It
I think
makes me
that
angry.
Denny's floor is going to be at least a 17-point per game guy. He's going to at least be like, I don't know, like prime Nicholas Batum, maybe JR. No, not JR Smith.
We don't
Maybe
know
like,
this, bro. This
maybe
he
like
could be a
Tony Kukoc. That's his floor. But his ceiling is like
His
Luka
floor?
Light. His ability to pass the ball, he could become like 7-assist guy as a secondary playmaker next to Devontae Graham. Or he could take most of the playmaking duties and Devontae can become more of an off-ball player. He can also shoot the ball. He can come off screens. He's a really smart player. So I think this is the right pick for the Hornets. Okongwu probably would have been fine. I just don't think he has a high enough ceiling to warrant this pick, even though he's might be the best defensive center in this draft. But yeah, I'm taking Denny Avdija. So your guys' thoughts?
Well, we already gave them.
Okay, so
I said that I thought it was a good pick, and I think he'll fit well.
yeah.
But
Now,
I probably would have taken LaMelo.
see, I thought about LaMelo, but the thing is, he
They don't
doesn't
need
fit.
him.
He wouldn't fit
Yeah.
in this system. They already have a ball-dominant point guard who's inefficient. So you don't want another
Oh,
ball-dominant
yeah.
point guard that's inefficient, right?
I still would have taken him, but okay.
And the thing is with this draft, I don't think this is the draft where you're going to find a star. And since they don't need a point guard star, that's their best player. I feel like they should either do like mediocre this year, try and get a higher pick next year, which is in the cards because I don't expect this Hornets team to improve a lot. I actually expect Denny to take a couple of years to adjust. I think he'll be good this year. He could either take off like Luka, but the difference between him and Luka, and I keep making this Luka comparison, he's not as good, obviously. But Luka was incredibly successful in Europe. Denny was successful, but he wasn't like amazing. Like Luka was amazing in Europe. But anyway, that's my pick. So Ben, you have the 4th pick.
I do have the
And the
4th
5th pick.
and the 5th pick.
So you get to make some interesting calls here.
I took a little bit of time to decide this pick for the Bulls. Originally, I was going to take Denny because if he fell to 4, would have been a no-brainer, but I don't. That's not obviously not an option now. So, yeah, I had 2 backups. One was unrealistic because Nav took him with the 1st pick. But, yeah, I think I'm ready to announce it. Arnav, cue the music. Never mind.
Shocked if you take the player that's for the Bulls for me.
With the 4th pick in the NBA draft, the Chicago Bulls select LaMelo Ball from USC.
Oh.
Thank God. Okay.
Okay. Well,
Nav, you need to understand
LaMelo,
Kobe is not all that in a bag of Lay's original, okay? He's good, but he's not LaMelo good.
I would have taken Obi Toppin.
You would have taken Obi Toppin when this team already has 2 elite 4s and 5. When they already have Larry Markkinen, who was a 20-point-per-game scorer before Boylan decided to turn him into Zaza Pachulia, and Wendell Carter, who's one of the best defensive centers in the league. You would have taken Obi Toppin, who could be a bust.
But he doesn't look like a bust to me.
Okay, well, he doesn't even fit close to good in this this Bulls system. That makes no sense.
What?
They already have Lauri Markkinen, who has a way higher ceiling. Like, if Lauri Markkinen were in this year's draft, he could be a top 3 pick easily.
anyways, let me explain my pick. So, apparently LaMelo Ball's comparison is Sean Livingston. I mean, I think he'll have
Sean
more of a
Livingston.
shot and be
Well, pre-injury, Sean Livingston was a good player, but
Yeah.
I see some similarities, but he's going to be way better. He should be way better as long as he's not a bust.
Yeah. So, I mean, not much to say about LaMelo. I mean, don't really know. That's why I feel like he wasn't taken higher, and he didn't. None of those teams really needed him, except maybe the Hornets. But
He's an amazing shooter.
look at him; he can shoot the 3.
He's confident.
Yeah, I would say his weakness is like he's not a great athlete at the end of the day.
He's a good,
Right? He can
I'm
dunk.
just gonna put back big dunks, but I
He's
don't.
like an explosive athlete, though.
He's not explosive, but like there are a lot of unexplosive point guards.
Yeah, I know that's his weakness, and that's what other players' weakness is too.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
like,
saying
does
that
Trae Young need to be explosive? Not really.
no, but that's still his weakness.
Okay,
He
fine.
could get better, and that would make him a better player. So that's what I think about him. Played decent over in Australia. Bought that team, so I think he'd be a good playmaker for the Bulls, and I think they're gonna in the next couple of years they're gonna be a pretty good team. So that's my pick.
All right, let's move on to number 5.
Okay, hold on. Can I make my opinion on this pick?
You
Yes.
can, but just don't make it
So,
5 minutes.
I think LaMelo is the best player in the draft, or has the highest
Yes.
potential in the draft.
Yes.
But
That's
the problem is, it's all about fit. And I think if the Warriors, because we're not doing like trade, like presumptive trades, then I would have, then like if the Warriors were trading their pick, they would have taken LaMelo because they're probably trading it to a team that could use LaMelo. Obviously, the Warriors don't need him, but they could trade him. But he probably fits best out of all the teams in the top 6 on the Bulls. Obviously, they have Kobe White, who, again, he's not all that in a bag of Lay's original. He's a good player. He's a really good scorer, but he's wildly inconsistent. While LaMelo is also a really good scorer and wildly inconsistent. But LaMelo has, like, generational passing ability. He has a way higher ceiling. He's taller, more athletic, maybe not as explosive, but he has so much potential, and he should be a better defender. I think LaMelo can be a good defender, and I think running Kobe White as a 6th man, because the Bulls already have so much firepower in the starting lineup with Otto Porter is a good shooter, Zach LaVine's 20-plus points a game, Lauri Markkanen can be a 20 and 10 guy by next year, Wendell Carter's solid on the inside. I don't think they need Kobe White, who's really not that amazing of a playmaker, to just go out and be a bucket. They can have that off the bench, and he can be like Jamal Crawford for them. So I think this is a good pick. I think this is the right pick, definitely.
Yeah.
But anyway, move on to your number 5.
5th pick for Cleveland that I also have. Yeah, I got some good picks, people. 3 top 5 picks. You know how it is.
Jesus, I just realized that. Shoot.
But I don't pick for a while after this.
Okay.
So not that bad. Let me sorry. I just need to go over my pick real quick. Okay. I don't know if you guys are gonna agree, and I'm not too sure about it. I think I'm still gonna go with it.
Okay.
But
I'd
yeah.
be shocked if you pick the guy I'm gonna take after this, but
I don't think I will. Anyways, Arnav, if you have the music, please start playing it because I like that. Anyways, with the 5th pick in the NBA draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Obi Toppin.
okay, that's the right pick.
I thought about this long and hard, and it was really between him and Onyeka. I don't know how to say it.
Onyeka.
That's what I can spell it, but I can't say it.
Yeah, the USC announcers had problems with that this year. But go on.
Yeah. Kevin Love, at the end of his, prime.
He's in the
probably
twilight
out of his prime, but he's
going to retire in the next 3 or 4 years, and he's getting.
Yeah, so that's why I think he'd be a good guy for the Cavs. So I need to go onto his page real quick that I had open.
So top end.
Nick Harrison, Kenyon Martin, and Kenyon Martin and John Marion too. I think he has high potential, but there's also the risk of what he
reminds me
not
of?
being a bust.
You know what he reminds me of? A modern day Sean Kemp. Super athletic, can dunk on everyone, plays big around the rim. He can spread the floor. He's more modern than Kemp, and neither of them were good defenders in their primes. I think Kemp was probably a good bit better just because he was a better shot blocker. But I mean, I think that's a good comparison for him.
Yeah.
So I actually think the Cavs will run him as a small ball 5 or run Kevin Love at the 5 and trade Tristan Thompson, because a lot of teams could use a Tristan Thompson type, a good double-double guy. But I think Thompson should be a good player in this Cavs system. Obviously, they have a lot of front office and obviously problems, and obviously they have a pretty bad owner. I would say Dan Gilbert's probably a bottom 5 owner in the NBA. So I'm curious to see how this pick pans out. Obviously, I think it's good that you didn't pick a guard because they already have to pick between 2 point guards.
Yeah.
And
I wouldn't do that.
I think just because of fit, this is the right pick and potential. Obviously, they could have gone with a guy like but Isaac Okoro, and et cetera, they don't have, or Devin Vassell, they don't have the high ceiling that Toppin does as a scorer. And I think this is a good pick.
All right, so moving on to number 6. Arnav, or are you?
It's my pick. I traded with Arnav to get this. Wait, no, this was my original pick. Yeah.
That's Arnav.
So this one's a pretty easy decision for me. Obviously, the Hawks in a dream scenario would have gone the number 1 pick, but I guess they're just going to have to settle for the second prize. So with the 6th pick in the 2020 draft, the Atlanta Hawks select Killian Hayes of France.
That early? Okay.
Yeah, Killian Hayes.
Oh, wait, no, sorry. I had him at 7. I thought I had him at
that early. I had him at 7, not 6. So Killian Hayes is considered by many in this draft to be a point guard. However, if you look at his play and you look at his size and you look at how aggressive he is and on the Hawks system, I think he would work well as a 2. So I actually think the Hawks could, and it's a very fair scenario here, draft Isaac Okoro, play him at the 2, and just run with defense. They don't need a lot of potential. They have a lot of young assets already. But Killian Hayes is a really good shooter, has a good stroke. He comes off screens and can knock down shots. He's a fast player. He gets to the rim with ease. He's a good playmaker, not a great playmaker, and he's got good size as a playmaker.
I wouldn't have said that. I would have taken Kongu.
Here's why they can't take a Kongu, because they traded for Clint Capella.
Yeah, but you just threw him at the 4. He's a 4 or 5.
Yeah, but they have John Collins at the 4.
Kidding? You put him as a 6 man.
They have way too many forwards.
Pretty young, like Killian Hayes. You watch him, he's a playmaker.
So here's what the team.
Wait, hold on. Let me tell you what the roster is. They have Cam Reddish as a small forward, Kevin Huerter as a small forward, DeAndre Hunter as a small
guard
forward.
for them right now. He's playing shooting guard for them right now.
Okay.
He's mostly an
DeAndre Bembry as a small forward.
Bembry doesn't play that much. He's a bench player.
Bembry's like a point guard.
Charlie Bro or whatever.
Charlie Brown doesn't play. He's 2-way. So what does it matter?
Trevon Graham is a small forward.
Travion Graham, he barely plays as well.
Okay, but they have a lot of small forwards. Let me just say that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because they have
a lot of small forwards, a lot of power forwards, and a lot of
if you're really going to get in a tizzy about
Travion
flippin' Graham, first of all, he played the 2 in Charlotte.
Well, what about DeAndre Hunter and Cam Reddish? So
DeAndre Hunter can play the 4. He's 6'9" and he's strong.
But we already have John Collins at the 4. And
okay, so they can play one. So they're going to either have to trade one of Cam Reddish and DeAndre Hunter, or they just run one of them off the bench. DeAndre Hunter had a really poor rookie year. Cam Reddish had a really poor start, but a really, really good finish. So if I were them, I would run a lineup of Trae Young, Killian Hayes, Cameron Reddish, John Collins, and Clint Capella with DeAndre Hunter as the 6th man, or you trade him and Kevin Huerter, and maybe even this pick to get a star such as, I don't know, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker.
Bradley Beal,
a 30-point per game scorer next to Trae Young who can play off ball, and that's elite for them.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Who would trade that, bro?
That would be enough. They can trade this pick.
Actually, Washington is not even close to winning anything.
Yeah, no, I think Washington should just blow it up because this group isn't good enough.
Just destroy that.
So, I have them taking Hayes. I just think he's the best fit as a secondary playmaker as well as an off-ball shooter. Kind of like what Kevin Huerter is for them, but just better and smaller and a better playmaker.
I had Killian Hayes going to Detroit.
Clint Capella is a center. When in his entire career has he played the power forward? He's 7 feet tall nearly. He doesn't play the power forward.
Nobody said he played the power forward.
You said he was a power forward.
It literally says that right here. I'm on the roster.
Yeah, on Bleacher Report it says he's a center. And
he is a center. It's not an argument.
He's played pick and roll for his whole career. So yeah, he's a center. But anyway, whose pick is it now? Ben, your pick? No, Nav. Nav, right? Yeah,
Nav with Detroit.
Okay, I need a second to think about this.
They need a pointer. He should take like.
Well, the pick here is obvious for me. So obvious. Okay.
No, I was gonna take Killian Hayes if I had that pick, but you took him.
Okay, I think I know. Hold up. Just making
Pick here is
sure.
obvious, and I feel like it's really easy.
Yeah.
Because Hayes, if you watch his highlights, he's not a particularly aggressive player, so he doesn't play off. He plays off
Yeah,
ball.
I know what I'm picking. I know what I'm picking. I know
Okay.
who I'm picking.
So, who are you taking?
All right. With the 7th pick in the NBA draft.
Are we not specifying 2020?
I don't know.
Well, the
Whatever,
Detroit
whatever.
Pistons. The Detroit Pistons take Tyrese Halliburton.
Thank God. Okay, you made the right pick. That was a good pick.
Okay.
I really like Halliburton.
So he played really good, averaging 15.2, 6.5,
Very
and
efficient.
5.9 rebounds per
points.
game.
Very efficient.
He's a sharpshooter because he had like 43% from three, I think.
Yeah, I think he took 5.5 a game. I can fact check that on about a 40%.
And 43%. Yeah. So he played really good, and he's gonna be a building block that Detroit really needs.
Yeah, he's a little. I believe he's a little older, like 20 or 21. Not
This
like.
was his second year, I think, in college.
Yeah, it was his second year in college, and his first year, I believe he was a little bit more efficient, but that doesn't really matter. Yeah, no, he barely played in his first year. Or he didn't play as well. But this year, he's played really well. So Nav,
Yep.
I think this is a good pick. I think he has a fairly high ceiling. I feel like he's going to be like Michael Carter Williams. If Michael Carter Williams had a 3-point shot and actually panned out. Obviously, he's not that. He's a pretty solid defender. He can shoot the ball. He can come off screens. He can run the pick and roll. He's a good passer. He's not elite, but he's a pretty good passer. I actually think if you wanted to, you could probably move him to the 2. I don't think that's realistic.
On Detroit,
Even
yeah,
though-
that's not necessary.
Yeah, because they already have Luke Kennard. But yeah, that's a good
And he's
pick.
a good passer. So maybe we can see some lobs.
I just want to see
Blake
what his
Griffin.
age is because, yeah, he's 20. Okay, so then,
Also, I'd like to say I don't know if Cole Anthony's gonna get picked here. Top 15.
oh shoot, what's the 8th pick?
I don't.
I don't. Actually, I might.
Yeah, Nav, you have the 8th pick.
Okay.
Who has
Let me
these?
think about this. Because if we're being realistic, New York's going to take someone stupid.
They'll
They're gonna-
probably end up
They're going
taking,
to make a really
I don't
bad
know, they'll
pick.
probably end up taking like Desmond Bain or something. But I know
Okay,
who they
well,
should pick
let me
just
think.
because I don't like the prospect I think they should pick, but I feel like he just fits well because they need a point guard. But you think-
Cole Anthony. Oh shoot, my bad.
Yeah, I need like 5 minutes or like a few minutes to think about this.
I mean,
Now,
Theo Maledon's also on the board, right?
No, Theo Maledon's really not that great. He's a little too short. He's not elite.
Aaron Naismith is still up there. Tyrese Maxey.
Aaron Naismith would be a bad pick here. Tyrese Maxey would be a really bad pick here.
Isaac Okoro.
Isaac Okoro would be an okay pick, but I guarantee New York won't pick him because he's not exciting.
Who has 9? You.
I have 9. Oh no, I traded it to get 11 because I know who I want to take at 11.
Who has
I think I
9?
know what I want to take.
And or Nav. Oh shoot, Nav has 9 as well.
Hmm.
No, we switched, remember? We switched. No,
Oh yeah, I gave you 9.
yeah, I have
You gave
9.
me 11 because I didn't like Washington's pick.
Onyeka Okongwu is still on the board.
He is, but he doesn't really fit on this team because they already have Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah, did he?
Nav, let me ask you this. What position are the New York Knicks lacking in?
Yo, yeah, they don't have Mitchell Robinson. Well, it's
The
not
Knicks?
showing me.
The Knicks have Mitchell Robinson.
It's not showing him for me.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, there he is. But he's a center.
Yeah, and so is Okongwu.
Kong was a power forward.
He is a
Yeah.
Who can play power?
center. You're not going to
He can
draft
play power
another.
forward.
You're not. You know how stupid it would be to draft another center that can't shoot the 3 and
He's a
block.
power forward.
Okay, he plays power forward, but he plays almost identically to Mitchell Robinson. That would be so dumb.
He's a better defender than Mitchell Robinson.
Not a better defender than Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson's already an elite defender.
I think with Onyeka Okongwu, you can't really go wrong.
Okay, then make the pick or not.
What are you
But
going to pick?
I'm still thinking. Because that would
Remember,
be a
Cole
smart.
Anthony
but-
and RJ Hampton are both on the board.
Uh,
Or both point guards, and the Knicks need a point guard.
I mean, I feel like RJ Hampton's more of a shooting guard.
I feel like this pick should have already been made, Nav. This is really easy.
it's
Unless you
not.
want the Knicks to just try and bottom out for Jalen Green next year, which would be very possible because they probably will.
I'm very. Oh, actually. Oh yeah. Okay. Hold up. He's a point guard and he's averaging 4 assists a game. Okay.
They already have RJ
I
Barrett,
think
who's a
it's
good playmaker as well, so that can make up for it. And they have Frank
Yeah.
off the bench, who they'll probably trade.
All right.
Free Ntilikina.
For the 8th pick in the 2020 NBA draft,
Oh, that one
the
was-
New York Knicks select the Cole Anthony of North Carolina.
You initially said the Boston Celtics, which was funny.
No, I was about to say the
The
Boston.
New York Knicks select the Boston Celtics. They wish. But
G, man. Okay, yeah. Cole Anthony from North Carolina. Cole Anthony's a good point guard, averaging 18.5 points a game and a good amount of rebounds with 6, I think.
he's a good rebounder and he's pretty athletic.
But he's not that good of a playmaker with 4 assists a game.
Yeah, I feel like assists don't tell the full story. He really doesn't have elite vision though, and I feel like he's a little bit too much about. He's kind of like Terry Rozier in a lot of ways. He's a bit of a shot chucker at times, and he's not a great playmaker. But I think he has a fair bit of potential, and I think that can be ironed out. I just don't think. I just know that whatever team player New York selects, they'll probably ruin. And it's
They're not going to win next year. This guy needs a lot of improvement right now, and
Yeah,
that's
they're
what
a
he's
lot
going to
of
be
goals.
given on the Knicks roster. He's going to be given the ball with
He needs to be
with,
handed the keys to the offense right now.
he's going to be scoring a lot of points, and that's what he wants. But he's also going to be needing to work in RJ Barrett. So we'll have to see. We'll see. But
I think that was a good pick, though.
yeah,
And
I
I
think
think
this is
fit-wise, that was the best pick they could have made.
that's the best pick they could have made.
Mhm.
Fit-wise, maybe not the best talent. I think Okongwu is more talented and has way less
Yeah.
chance to be a bust. But I think fit-wise, it was fine.
Okay.
All right, but you have the 9th pick now.
So, Washington. Actually, I don't think this is that hard of a pick.
Remember, since John Wall's hurt, you could swing for the fences and maybe try for a point guard. But at this point, there's really none on the board.
I'm taking a shooting guard.
No.
I would take a 3, definitely. I would
No,
definitely.
don't steal my pick. Take Aaron Naismith.
Actually,
That
I
would be
think.
really dumb.
yeah.
That would be too risky. I guess you could try for him. He could be really
Okay,
good.
I'm taking a small forward. All right.
Okay, yeah. I think I know who he's gonna pick. And
For the 9th pick in the 2020 NBA draft,
oh, I love it.
the Washington Wizards select Isaac Okoro.
Okay, that was the right pick. That was a good pick.
No.
If you can-
No way.
Also,
Very well-rounded player.
Nav keeps playing the 2020 draft music. I'm just afraid it's not gonna go through with the recording because it's a little quiet, but it's really great.
Okay, so he's 6'6" and he's a forward, and he was an all defensive team player.
An awesome defender. Awesome.
12.9 points a game. I think he needs to work on his 3-point shot.
He needs to work on his offensive game. So his offensive
Yeah.
game is very raw, but he has
But
a lot of potential. When you have that,
Working with the Wizards, I think the Wizards are really good scoring
they
team.
developed good offensive players before. John
They
Wall.
have an amazing
Bradley Beal came
offense,
off
but a
score.
horrible defense, and that's
Oh,
what.
and
he's a
Okoro's
good
going to
player.
help. Okoro's going to help.
Exactly.
He's going to become a good offensive player, and he's going to help with defense. I
Exactly.
think this is the
So
right pick.
I think he'll flourish in Washington.
So Okoro, basically his skill set, he's kind of like He's kind of like the Matthijs Thybulle of this draft. Thybulle is a really athletic 6'6" wing that's now playing for the Sixers. He might be the best defensive player in his draft class. There's a case to be made for him at least. And Okoro's a lot like that, except Okoro is really athletic. He won like he was amazing. He was awesome high school dunk contest or something. I don't know. I've seen him throw down crazy dunks. He's got good length. He's got a good stroke, though it needs work, and there's no reason he can't be a really good slasher and a good spot-up shooter. I don't expect him to be an amazing scorer, but I expect him to be pretty solid. But I think that was the right pick. Obviously, they could have gone with Devin Vassell, who's probably a little bit worse of a defender and less athletic, but is a better shooter. But I think this is the right pick because I think Okoro's defense is elite, and he could be really good. So, yeah, I think that was good. Ben, your thoughts?
On his pick, yeah, I agree. I think it was the right pick, even though I wanted him for Phoenix.
Ooh, okay.
Yo,
yeah.
Ben,
Yeah.
you have the 13th pick, right?
I have the 10th and the 13th pick, yeah.
Can I trade you the 12th pick for the 13th pick?
Who has the 12th pick?
The Kings.
Me. Yeah, the Kings.
Sure, because I'm kind of struggling at 13 right now.
All right.
Yeah, 13 and 12 and 13 are probably the hardest picks to make in this draft just because neither of those teams.
No, Andrew, think about 10 right now for me, for Phoenix.
Oh,
think
shoot.
about-
Yeah,
Yeah.
because there are no point guards. If, in a dream scenario, I would have had you guys take Halliburton and run him as backup this year just so we can learn from Ricky Rubio. Obviously, Halliburton's off the board, though. So
What about Patrick Williams?
Patrick Williams is a power forward / center who can't shoot the ball.
He's actually a 3/4, but yeah.
Yeah, he's a forward.
He's not a center.
No, he's
Nope.
only 6'7".
forward.
He's
like
6'7",
6'8"
2
forward.
But he
He's
plays
6'8",
bigger. He plays bigger than his position. He plays really
which is
big.
good. Which is good. He's a
Not for this
6'8" forward.
Phoenix team, considering they want to run and they want to shoot.
But yeah, they don't need a small forward. They have Kelly.
Al Bridges and Kelly Oubre, Tsunami Poppy.
Tsunami Poppy. Okay, yo, wait. They need a point guard. They need. Who's their power forward?
Saric?
They have Saric and Kaminsky, and they can run Bridges there if they make a pick for a 3.
Honestly, their offense is really good, and their defense.
I'm between two players right now, but I think one makes more sense than another one.
Oh, I think I know what I would pick actually.
Oh, shoot. You know what I just realized?
Onyeka is still.
Onyeka is still on the board.
I know, that's what I was talking about. Like what?
Shoot. Okay.
I knew that.
Yeah, that's who I would pick.
It's between him and another guy.
Now, okay, that changes my pick at 11 a lot, but I still think I am going to stick to my guns there.
Okay, I have my pick.
Okay.
With the 10th pick in the NBA draft, the Phoenix Suns select Onyeka Okongwu from USC.
Oh, shoot. That was not the right.
Yes, it is. That was the right pick. That's the best pick.
Yeah,
I was going to pick Devin Vassell, but they already...
Devin Vassell would have been the pick I made because he doesn't clog up the offense.
Yeah.
I already have DeAndre Ayton, and unless DeAndre Ayton becomes like a really good shooter by next year, which he won't be, then
I had to take Okongwu.
he's the best player on the board, and I guess you could use him as a trade chip.
Yep, so that's what I
I think
take.
at this point he's too good to pass up on. Such a good shot blocker, really good lob threat. But unfortunately, since Obi Toppin was on the board for the Cavs, just due to unfortunate circumstances, really none of these teams needed a center. They all needed.
Yes, he didn't deserve to drop to 10.
He's definitely more talented than he's probably more he's talented enough to be a top 4 pick.
Mm-hmm.
But due to situation, he could fall really far.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, really good shot blocker, really athletic player, but he's not going to be anything of a shooter, and he plays bigger.
I mean, he can learn. With the modern day game, he can learn.
Again,
Probably.
I don't think you need 5 shooters on the court at once. I don't think, unless that's your entire offense, like the Rockets are doing, then I don't think you need 5 shooters. Like, there are teams that can still run pick and roll. There are teams that can still run pick and pop. So, and have elite mid-range shooter. I still think a player like LaMarcus Aldridge, if he shot more threes in the modern game, would thrive. I think this is like an okay pick. It was good because he was the best player on the board, but it was bad because fit-wise, it's not great. But I'm at 11, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now that Okongwu's off the board, this gets me ready to take my favorite prospect in this draft. To me, that like the most underrated prospect in this draft.
Devin Vassell, sorry.
Not Devin Vassell. And I didn't know anything about Vassell until the other day. He's probably top 5 as far as underrated prospects in this draft. But he's really good. And I had teams as high as like 8 or 9 taking Devin Vassell. But
Yeah, I had Washington.
Oh, I think I know, Andrew. I think I know.
you guys might know who I'm gonna take, and oh my god, like this is a real reach, and this is a swing for the fences pick. With the 11th pick in the 2020 NBA draft, the San Antonio Spurs select Alexei Pokusevski,
What?
Serbia, I believe. That's the pick I'm making. So Alexei Pokusevski is a 7-foot tall power forward / center from like somewhere in Europe. I don't know. He played in a really small league, and basically his ability.
Andrew, sorry, this guy isn't even projected to get drafted.
What? Where? I have not seen on Tankathon. They have him ranked 10th.
Draftnet.
I can't even find him either.
On NBADraft.net, they have him going 33rd, which I think is absurd. If you look at this kid, he is a 7-foot.
No, they have a point guard going at 33rd.
On NBADraft.net?
Mm-hmm.
No, they have, I believe, this
They
kid.
don't on the updated version.
Whoa, Trey Jones is projected to go 29th.
No, he's projected for 43rd.
43rd?
Oh,
Okay,
so,
it doesn't matter. Andrew, continue your pick.
So anyway, Alexei Pokusevski is a 7-foot tall, lengthy center from somewhere in Europe. I don't know where. Okay, he's he's from Serbia. Okay, there we go. So he is an elite shooter for his size. He can handle the ball, and he has elite passing vision as well as shot blocking. Okay. In one of these leagues, I don't know. I can't get into like what leagues he played in. He played in weird levels of basketball. But at some point, he averaged 4 blocks a game in a like under 18 tournament. So he is a very high risk, high reward prospect. And the San Antonio Spurs, if you know the Spurs, they are amazing at digging up diamonds in the rough. Okay, think about it.
That doesn't mean you're good at digging up diamonds.
They get the 30th pick every year, and they hit it every single time. They got Manu Ginobili in the 2nd round in 2002. They got Tony Parker with the 28th pick. I believe this guy can be the next elite European player for the Spurs. Again, 7-foot tall, elite shooting ability, elite shot blocking ability, and he can pass like hell. Okay, you know who that sounds like? Nikola Jokic or Kristaps Porzingis to me. That sounds like a Nikola Jokic, Kristaps Porzingis hybrid. Do you know how insane that is? That is the perfect modern 5. That is perfect.
All right, let's move on to
Elite.
number 12.
Like, if you've never heard of this kid, I'm telling you who could be the best prospect in this draft.
What? Are you crazy? Are you absurd?
I'm not.
Are you absurd?
He has a higher ceiling than pretty much
He's so
anyone.
skinny.
Stay off
So was
the
Kristaps.
weed.
So was Giannis. So was Seka Jimboya. Okay? So was Jokic, and then Jokic got big boy. But,
Oh, man. No.
okay? So,
Yeah,
this kid,
I
mean, first of all, the Spurs, like, they don't have any star players on their roster, right? They need a high potential guy. This kid has way higher potential than anyone that will be drafted behind him. By far.
We'll see. All right. Ben with the 12th pick.
Alright, with the 12th pick in the NBA draft, the Sacramento Kings select Aaron Naismith from Vanderbilt University.
Ooh.
So, Aaron Naismith is he was projected to go 13th. Obviously, I have the picks, so I'm taking him a little bit high. But his NBA comparison is Cameron Johnson, which I think is stupid because Cameron Johnson's a rookie and he hasn't done anything yet. I think he's going to be good. I think it is a little bit risky because of he didn't play too much, but I think he's still going to be, yeah. And he didn't shoot great in the 14 games he played in, but he did average good stuff.
Ben, he didn't shoot great. He shot 50%
In
from
the NBA size, he's big.
Ben, listen to
He
that.
shot 33% from three as a freshman.
Yeah, but this isn't his freshman year.
Yeah, I know. But his freshman year, he wasn't. That's what I said. Anyways, he's an NBA size. He's 6'6", 215. I think he'll fit well playing the 3 or the 2 for Sacramento. So that's my pick.
I think this is a good pick, because they were having to run Bogdan Bogdanovic and Buddy Hield Buddy Hield off the bench, and I actually don't think that's a good look. I think Buddy Hield could benefit much better as a starter. I don't think he's a great bench player. But Naismith can replace him or Bogey or probably either of the rules as an elite shooter, an elite off-ball player. He's averaged 23 points a game in 14 games, shooting 50% from 3. And this is the big one. This is the indicator. He shot 82% from the free throw line, right? Like, we've seen amazing shooters before that shoot poorly from the free throw line than are poor NBA shooters. But this kid shot very well from the free throw line.
Yeah.
51% shooter from the field. Now, obviously, Vanderbilt doesn't play great competition, but they're by no means like a bottom-tier school as far as Division I goes. And I feel like 23 points a game, that's fairly elite. He's not a good passer, but he could be a really, really good off-ball player. Like, just as a pure bucket, a scorer purely. That would be great for this team. Because they don't really have many looks to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like they're probably going to have to go to De'Aaron Fox way too much next year. He's probably going to have he's going to break his back from carrying the entire Kings organization.
Buddy Hield?
No. De'Aaron Fox, because they're going to let go of Buddy Hield.
What? Why?
Because Buddy Hield's unhappy. He doesn't like playing off the bench, and he doesn't like that this team isn't utilizing him properly. So
Buddy Hield is like donkey, man.
Just okay. You tend to put too much stock in people's teeth when judging them as basketball players. Like Kelly Oubre to you is the GOAT.
No.
That is just a fact. Sorry, Donovan Mitchell. Kelly Oubre's top 5.
Yeah. Donovan Mitchell's the GOAT, but I don't know about Kelly Oubre. I love watching.
Come on, man. Tsunami Poppy.
Tsunami Poppy dunks on every single player, bro. You don't realize how many times he's dunked on fucking Paul George.
Yeah, he does dunk on people a lot.
He's just fun to watch.
He is fun to watch. But yeah, I think this is a good pick for the Kings. And I expect Naismith to be a good player. He could also be a horrible bust. But he could be really, really good. He could exceed my expectations. I expect him to be sort of like a Lou Williams type.
Mm-hmm.
Or like there's really no pure scorers in the NBA right now that just can't pass whatsoever. I'm struggling to come up with a comparison here.
All right.
Oh no.
I'm gonna go to
Yeah.
the 13th pick now.
Okay.
So for the 13th pick in the 2020 NBA draft, the New Orleans
I've got a picture. It's easy.
select LiAngelo Ball. No,
That was great.
I'm kidding. I'm messing with you. Okay, let me do this again. For the 2020 NBA draft, the New Orleans Pelicans select Tyrese Maxey from Kentucky University.
Okay.
I think Tyrese, he dropped.
Would be a good fit with Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram as a 43% shooter from the field,
Brandon Ingram is already a bad fit with Zion and Lonzo because
Exactly. But I think as
Maxey
Maxi's a
will
good
be an
shooter.
even worse fit, but
Maxi's a good shooter, and he's pretty consistent.
he's
I don't
very
think he's gonna take the ball away from like Zion, so that's a good thing. Like I don't want a ball dominant player.
Let me tell you why that's incorrect. There's only one ball, right? And if you're picking between Maxey or Ingram and Zion and Lonzo to have the ball every possession because Lonzo is such an amazing playmaker and you can just give it to Zion in the post for an easy dunk, you're going to take Zion ball every single time. And because of that, Brandon Ingram doesn't really fit. Like, he played really well, and because of that, that kind of nullifies the fit thing. But Tyrese Maxey could be really bad. Like, did not have a good freshman year. Like,
Who do you think the Pelicans should trade for Brandon Ingram?
I don't think they should trade Brandon Ingram because he's a restricted free agent, and his contract is expired. Like
This year?
Yeah, he's a free agent.
Oh.
But he's restricted, I believe.
What do you
And
mean?
there's no reason for him to leave. There's no turmoil in New Orleans. It's just whoever the new coach is, they have to manage him. I disagree with this pick. I would have taken Devin Vassell, and now you've made my life really hard because I have a definite pick for Boston, but Devin Vassell could be a top 10 pick, and now he might fall out of the lottery. So, I don't know, man. Maxey's a decent player, but he's not
Let's
better.
see. Okay, Andrew, let's move on to your pick.
Wait, is the last pick or 14? 14.
Yeah, it's
I have 14 and 15.
Okay, so.
Oh, shoot. Wait, hold on. Oh, no, Vassell will go to Orlando. Okay, yeah. Spoiler alert, but it doesn't really matter. So with the 14th pick in the draft, the Boston Celtics select Jalen Smith out of Maryland. A little late, but whatever.
I know, you were going too fast, bro.
I know.
You were going too fast.
So Jalen Smith is a 15 and 10 guy, as a 6'10", I believe, sophomore.
Yeah.
He's a really athletic player. He can shoot the three a little bit. He's not a great shooter. You know who he reminds me of? Perfectly. He's just like this player. He's just like Miles Turner. He's just like Miles Turner. Miles Turner was not a great three-point shooter coming out of college. He was like a 33% on like 30 attempts guy at best. And Jalen Smith is just like that. He's a good shooter, not great. He can catch lobs. He can throw it down at the rim. He's got a good post game. He's a lot like Miles Turner. And I think on this Boston team that needs a guy to hold it down in the paint, he's also a solid defender, that needs to hold it down in the paint. And they need a big body that's not Enes Kanter. I think that Jalen Smith could fit really well. I considered that they should trade this pick, Romeo Langford, and then a future first or two to get Nikola Vucevic. But I feel like this kid could be really good. Like, this kid could be better than Miles Turner, who's already an elite defender. He's like an elite shot blocker, a very solid, a decent scorer, good pick and roll player, very athletic, can shoot the ball. But I actually think he could develop as a scorer better. And I don't think he'll be that defender, but I think he'll get close. So that's why I have them taking Jalen Smith. It's really just fit, and I think he could be a really good player in time. And I especially think in Boston, where they have a good developing system, and he's a young player that doesn't seem to he's a pretty calm dude. He doesn't try to be a focal point of the offense. He just gets what comes to him, and it's very natural at the rim for him. So I think this is a good pick for Boston. So your guys' thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch much of him this season. I did watch some of his highlights on YouTube, but yeah, he looks to be. I think he could make a difference for a Boston team that needs more strength at that position.
All right.
So moving on
to
the final pick of our mock draft.
Last pick of our mock draft, and I feel like this one's pretty easy, and I already mentioned it. But
Make sure you get the thing timed perfectly, okay?
With the 15th pick in the 2020 draft, the Orlando Magic select Devin Vassell from Florida State University.
Yeah, that was easy.
Yeah, so Vassell is a 6 foot, like 6 or 7, small forward who's got elite length, like tip it back America. Shout out Jay Billis. because Mans has long arms. He has go-go gadget arms. He's kind of like he has go-go gadget
Go
arms.
gadget arms.
He's kind of like the Mikal Bridges of this draft in a lot of ways. He's a very sound offensive player in a lot of ways. He gets to the rim. He's very athletic. He can shoot the ball at a good rate. And his defense is elite. And I think he could be a very good defender. He could be the best defender in this draft. I don't think he will be, but he could be in the conversation 3 or 4 years down the line.
Mhm.
All
And
rookie
Orlando-
defensive team.
Orlando has a good point guard. And then they have Jonathan Isaac at the 4 and Mo Bamba at the 5. I feel like they should play Mo Bamba way more. He has so much potential now that he's bigger.
Wait, they have all rookie defensive teams, right?
What?
Is there such thing as an all rookie
No.
defensive
No,
team?
there's all rookie teams, but defense
There's
does
all defensive teams, but not all rookie defensive.
teams. Yeah.
Oh.
So, that was dumb, Mario. I can't believe you didn't.
Okay, I just heard that somewhere.
Oh well. I mean, there usually aren't 5 really good defenders in a draft. Like what? Like this year is an outlier where we have 4 in the lottery, but like, I mean, come on now. That's not gonna happen every year. So, Vassell is a really good player on this Magic system because he fits in with their defensive identity, and he also brings a scoring punch with his length and elite and pretty close to elite athleticism, as well as his shooting stroke. So since this team should be trading Vucevic, they should have Vucevic on the trade block, hopefully to get a good shooting guard. And since there aren't really any amazing shooting guards at this spot, you took Tyrese Maxey, who I considered, and I also considered R.J. Hampton. I think R.J. Hampton doesn't really fit with Markelle Fultz, who kind of also plays the shooting guard sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, yeah, I have Vassell at 15
Vassell.
for the Orlando Magic. And that concludes our 2020 NBA mock draft. We're not going to do past this first 15 picks because the pickings are getting slimmer and slimmer and slimmer and slimmer. So, all right. So, as a recap, what do you guys think was the best, worst, most surprising, least, what are some takeaways from this draft? What do you think is the most interesting?
I think the number 2 pick, James Wiseman, threw everybody off, and putting LaMelo at number 5 threw everybody off too.
4. He went 4.
4.
You went 4?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I think also Okongwu dropping all the way to 10 is surprising.
Yeah,
That was probably the most, maybe surprising thing I think my pick at 11 was the most surprising.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
obvious.
I didn't even know who that is.
Yeah, let me tell you, he could be the best player in this draft. At least top 5. If he pans out, he could be top 5.
Bro, can you imagine if all the Ball brothers get back together?
Listen, LiAngelo Ball is a ball boy for the Oklahoma City's G League team, okay? There's no chance he makes the NBA.
I don't know, man.
So, yeah, I think that I think my pick at 11 was a swing for the fences. But let me tell you, if Fran Fraschilla were here, he would tell you that I'm making the right pick. Because this kid just has so much potential, this Pokusevski kid.
Yep.
And obviously in San Antonio, since they have such a good developmental staff, and Greg Popovich will probably be there for 1 more year,
Mm-hmm.
they'll have an opportunity to develop him under arguably the greatest coach of all time, with good blue-collar wings as well as a really good front office.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that pick is more reasonable than you guys think, but
Yeah.
I can understand why you think it should be lower. He
Okay.
wasn't gonna slip out of the
So-
lottery.
Yeah. Anyways, let's conclude with thank you all for watching today's episode. We'll hit you up with most likely a Saturday episode as long as we can get a good topic for that. And if you have any suggestions on what kind of trivia or whatever you want, just put in the comments below and we'll check that out.
We'll see you next time on 3 in the Cape. Peace out.
Yeah.